So what's up, YouTube? First, I gotta apologize. It's been a minute since I got back on YouTube. Got really sick. Just had a series of just horrible events over the past week. Got really busy, but really what I wanted to tap into is that now that all the testimony and all the evidence has been brought in, it looks like the jury is in deliberation. They've been in deliberation for about 13 hours. And I have to say that the closing arguments by the prosecution was beyond compelling. One of the things that I definitely wanted to tap into is the way some fans are reacting. I actually saw one of the comments in the chat during the trial or during the deliberations, and it said something to the effect of, regardless of if he did it or didn't do it, he should get like some pass because of his contribution to art, or I think they said he makes like a social contribution of some sort. I have no idea how you would excuse the deaths of Sack and Juvie. And I'm not saying that Melly did it or didn't do it. Honestly, with what the prosecution has put in already, it's hard to believe that he didn't have anything to do with it at all. And yeah, so at the very least, I don't see how he walks away without at least a manslaughter charge, unless, of course, the defense catches the prosecution on major technicalities. I see the defense arguing for different motions, mainly for mistrial. I saw that there was an argument by David Howard when they wanted, I think, Trevon Glass's testimony read back. And David Howard, for some reason, well, I'll tell you the reason. The reason why David Howard preferred that the tape be played is because, one, remember, one of those extenuating circumstances for determining whether a reliable witness testimony is reliable is whether or not that witness had a felony. And we all know that Trevon admitted to having at least one felony on the stand. So when David Howard saw the request for the jury to basically go over Trevon's testimony, he got up in an instant and objected to it, and he actually suggested that they get the tape and play it back. And the reason for that is because, remember, Trevon had his face covered during the whole time. Even after they moved the television screen, he had his dreads covering one of his eyes. So that in itself, just like the guy in the mask, almost damages your credibility if you're not willing to look your accusers in the face. I mean, in terms of the law and in terms of how we all judge truth and honesty, we look at people's human nature. We look at their behavior. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot to take in. I don't see how the defense can come across as innocent at this point without actually debunking some of the major pitfalls in this case, like, the DNA evidence, the gunshot residue, on the back seat, there's the back door with the bullet. There's just a number of things floating in the air, and after 13 hours, that means that they're thinking of something. If they thought that he was not guilty, I would have believed that they would have had a verdict on the first day. Because this guy's been, if you have any sympathy whatsoever in terms of him being sympathy, you're thinking he's already spent 5 years in jail, So if you think he's innocent, I'm thinking that that's a no-brainer. But it looks like the jury got locked, and they actually sent a message to the judge saying, what do we do if we get, stuck, if we're all stuck on our positions? And what happened was the judge he basically gave them some additional instruction on, how to basically go over each and everybody's points, and then make a decision. Part of the reason why a jury has difficulty, as he explained, is that they try to go by the votes early on in the beginning before actually going through their reasoning of why they chose their verdict. So I guess that's what everybody's doing, is they're all giving their different testimonies on why they think he's guilty, and maybe we'll have a verdict by Monday. But all in all, some of you Melly fans need to, damn, I mean, dude, if he did it, how could you want someone free if they actually did it? And I'm saying this across the board for anybody, anybody who does something like this. I mean, you talking about sliding on your homies. I mean, that ain't cool. That ain't cool in nobody's book. I mean, I'm pretty sure Melly had everybody looking at their friends sideways, like, because it's just, wow, you don't even know how this happened, so I send condolences out to the family, because I know this ain't fun for them, and hopefully they get the closure that they need, and everything goes well for them, or at least they get the justice that they're looking for. But all in all, it's all in the jury's hands. There's something else I think I wanted to bring up. I think that's about it. So yeah, stay tuned, YouTube. I'll try and check up on this a little bit more going forward. But honestly, there was just a bunch of trial dates. It got really boring towards the end. So I'm glad that all the evidence is finally out, and now we just get to sit and wait. So stay tuned, guys.